Hello, welcome to Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep on this very early morning run. My name is Rebel. We're going to be doing some Ventus critical mode, so let me get... Oh, that's the wrong difficulty. Yep, we go critical mode. Alright, yep, so this the version of this game that we're playing is it's the HD version that got released on the PS4. I'm playing it on my PS5. You can see it in the corner of the camera. My lovely friend over there. But yeah, so timing will start when I select my character. So let me just get over there. Right. So I will start time in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, cool. Alright, so the first fight you get flung into is orbs. Each character starts in a different position in orbs. Ven has a pretty optimal position for where he starts. So yeah, basically the way we're going to deal with this is we're going to use a shot lock, which is a kind of like a projectile ability that we get early in the game. Ventus starts with one of the best ones, which is Flame Salvo, and then we just have to finish off the orbs from there. Right, now I've got to finish that one. Finish that guy. Oh, there's one there. Hopefully Aqua helps me. Oh, if I could not whiff, that'd be amazing. Okay, there we go. Right, final wave. These ones at the back on the spawn in. I'm going to quick blitz them. Charge up a shot lock. And then just got to do a little bit of clean up after that. So that one should die from that. And cool. Easy. Easy orbs. Yeah, you're looking for under a minute on orbs normally, but when you're speedrunning this game, orbs is like one of the worst reset points. Alright. Alright, let me just get through these cuts and skips. Alright, so start here. Ven leaves his home to go after Terra, which is one of the other characters, is essentially why he begins his journey. But yeah, our first one we're going to is Dwarf Woodlands. There is a couple of things we need to do here. Right, so first thing I'm going to do is we'll click the menu to put on Quick Blitz and also make myself level 1. Right, so, yep. Right, so if you look on the leaderboard, this game doesn't have like a distinction between critical mode and level 1. I normally just distinct it for like marathon runs. But essentially, oh, sorry, sell that. Right, that's right. Yeah, so playing this game on level 1 on critical mode is faster than playing it without being on level 1. I'll get into why a bit later on when we get to see some of the perks of EXP 0. Right, grabbing Mini. Gonna... Oh, that was not what I wanted, but that's fine. Okay, that's fine. Let me just do this. Right, so I've got to go around this little area and find the 7 dwarfs. They're all hiding in different boxes, and I basically just have to go around and find which boxes they're in. They're in the same boxes every single time. Sneezy is just being annoying like he normally is. He can basically go wherever he wants, he flies wherever he wants. Every time he sneezes, he jumps massively, so you want to try and catch him before he gets too far away from you, or if he does get too far away from you, you want him to go towards this entrance here. Right, let me line this up. Alright, cool. Oh, mistimed my input there, but that's fine, don't worry about it. Right, the quick chest I've got to pick up here. Pick up this. If the game lets me do it, it doesn't always do it. Right. Hit this box. If you get too close to this guy, he runs away from you, so you want to try and make sure you're not like too close to him before you start attacking him. Right, so go over here. That's fine. Let me go over here. Go into that guy. Cool, that guy. Cool. Right, so there's one more dwarf I've got to get now. He's in the minecart. He's coming around the corner now, so he'll be here in a second. There he is. That's dwarfs. Right, so I did miss a cycle there, so that was not the like fastest of dwarfs that I've ever done. But that's fine. Right, quick menu, Ether Mini. Right, so Mini's a command that we're going to get a lot of use out of in the next fight, and then we pretty much get rid of it because it's not an amazingly good command. Right, so the main movement in this game when you're walking around normally is dodge rolling. Every character has a different type of dodge. Ven's one is a dodge roll, as you can see. I'm not mashing the inputs for it when I'm going through. I'm actually dodging, taking a tiny step, then dodging again. Doing that actually makes you go a little bit further with each one, so you can get through rooms a little bit faster. In other categories, it actually is required to time out your inputs in certain rooms, or you get caught by enemies or different things like that. Right, so every character has an escort. This is Ventus's one. Ventus has to escort Snow White through this forest. But yeah, this is what Mini does. Mini shrinks enemies, and then you can just walk over them. Right, let me... Oh, no, that's that one. Okay, cool. Right, let me just kill that guy. Hopefully one of these guys drops an ether. Nope. Alright, so the ethers that I have are actually for the boss of this world. You can get an extra drop in this fight, which makes the boss fight a tiny bit easier. But it's not really a requirement. You don't always get it. Just getting that guy out of the way. There we go. I gotta wait till she gets here. Mini now. Right, so Snow White is pretty useful. The other two escorts kind of get caught on enemies a lot of the time. Snow White is, if there's nothing on her, like, pathing, she'll just go, she'll just run, she just doesn't care. Right, clearing that enemy or skip that tree, then if I walk in front of her a couple of times, that'll store her enough for this reaction command to load. There you go. Right, there we go, that's that. Now there's going to be two more enemies that appear here. We're going to mini. Walk over them. Oh, nice ether drop. There we go. There is one you can pick up in a chest, but I tend to just go, nope, I'm not doing that. Try and get it in a drop. One more mini. Clear that guy, clear that guy. And there we go, that's Snow White. Walk up to her, there we go. Okay, cool. Right, now that we're done with that, we're going to go to the first boss of the run. It's Mad Treant. It's basically just a massive tree. We're just going to use Flame Salvo on him for the most part, because Ben at this point doesn't really have anything good that he could, like, abuse on this difficulty. With the way crit works with your damage output is a lot lower than, say, on beginner mode here, where you just actually body this guy. Alright, let me do that. Right, so I'm doing flame salvos of 11 to 12 just to try and maintain as much of the focus bar as I can possibly get, which is the little orange bar in the corner. If I used any more, the ether doesn't heal me enough to get another 11 to 12 one. Alright, there we go. And flame salvo this guy. One more should do it. That's a 10. And easy. Alright, cool. If you only have 3 ethers there, obviously he'll have more HP at the end and you have to fight him out a little bit more. But if you get the 4th ether, you can just kind of cheese him with another flame salvo. Another reason why the flame salvo is good is because it gives you invincibility the entire time it's active. So you can basically use it to get through attacks or to avoid attacks, essentially. There's a few times there's potentially a few times through this run where we'll have to do that. You do it a lot in some of the later fights to try and help survive a little bit more. Alright, next one we're going to go to is Castle of Dreams. We're going to be in this world for a tiny little bit. There's actually not that much to do in this world, technically, but this is the best world for grabbing some items that we need, and a couple of D-Link level ups. So there's that blue bar in the bottom corner by my HP, that's the D-Link gauge. Whenever you, like, form a friendship with a character or whatever, you unlock, like, a set of commands using a different character's, like, abilities, etc. So we're going to be grabbing some level ups for them because they do level up, and when you level them up, they get different abilities and different command sets and things. So I'm going to quickly kill the enemy. So I need to go up the top in the next room because we're helping. This entire section is what we're actually doing is we're helping Cinderella put together a dress so she can go to the she can go to the ball. That's what we're actually doing. So I'm going to grab some thread. There's a free fleeting crystal here that gives you a haste ability, which helps decrease the time your command state to recharge. Attack that. Oh, I didn't get that right. That's fine. Pick up this bow. If you fall down here, it can be very annoying to sort yourself out to get back up again. So that guy didn't fall down. Right. So this is Snow White. Snow White has a few decent abilities, but the command I just used there, Grumpy, is Treasure Raid. Treasure Raid has a basically attempts to force drops out of enemies. So I'm going to be using Treasure Raid on the shoegazers, is what they're called, the shoes, and I'm going to be trying to get fleeting crystals out of them. And I'm going to jump on this ball to attack the enemies, because the ball does basically not unscaled damage to these guys in comparison to the rest of your stuff being on level 1. When you kill enemies with this, you don't get any command points or EXP. Obviously, EXP doesn't matter because I'm at level 1. But it doesn't give you any level up stuff for your commands, essentially. We do that at a later point. Let me just do... Oh, cool. A second one. I only need one more of these now. Okay, no. Yeah. Right. No, that's fine. You can do this entire thing in one room visit if you get really, really good luck. Unluckily, I didn't really get anything. No, so I need one more Fleeting Crystal. Cool. Cool. Throw that one again just in case. Alright, do that, jump up there. Right, now we just need to level up Terror. Just run through these enemies again. I know where all the spawn points are and such, so I'm just going to run through everything. Oh, nice, level up there. Oh, if I can actually grab the thing, that'd be amazing. There we go. Let me do nothing. Also, something else about being on the arm ball as well is it just stops you from getting hit by enemies all over the ground. So that's why it's another reason why it's useful. Okay, do that. Right, I'm going to quickly check how many Fleeting Crystals I've got, because you can ruin a run if you don't fall. That's fine. I can grab it. There's an extra one I can grab in Enchanted Dominion. But yeah, that's the end of grinding. So that wasn't too bad, actually. That can go a lot worse. Right, turning off Aqua, changing Terror to finisher level 1. Right. Now we can go fight the boss. Right, we're just going to go through here. Right, so the boss of this world is Lucifer. So you probably noticed that we are basically the size. We've been the size of the mice essentially this entire time. So we're gonna fight Lucifer. Go into Terror. And run up. Right. Cool. Right. So I was getting hit there specifically because if Lucifer here does that particular claw attack at the start, you get hit into red HP, and one of the Terror D-Link abilities is called Overdrive. Which actually gives you a slight damage buff when you're in red HP. Usually buffs like this don't work on level 1, but for some reason this one does. I literally could not give you any reason as to why, it just does. All it means is we can finish that in one less cycle of Sonic Blades. So it does save a good like 10 seconds to get hit by the right set of attacks there. If Lucifer does any other attack, you take too much HP damage to tank a second hit from anything other than the slash attack. So if that happens, you just go straight to Sonic Blade and just eat the 10-second time loss. Right, now done with that, we're going to go to Enchanted Dominion. Right, cool. Right, just because I've got a bit of movement here before I get to the next fight, if you've got anything you want to say on the hosting side, feel free to go ahead.
Hello, absolutely. Good morning, everyone. And we have a donation. We have $10 from Texan Red Wolf. Sending a message. This run is going to be simple and clean. And they also put that donation towards the Star Wars Battlefront 2 target that we have open. So when you do go in and send in your donations, please check out the various targets and polls we have open. Thank you very much, Texan, for that donation.
Alright, cool. Right, as you can see, I'm using sliding dash to get through all these rooms. Something else I'm also trying to do is I'm trying to hit enemies with the sliding dashes. Sliding dash is meant to be like a combo ability, so if you hit an enemy with it, it actually remains in like a cancelable state, so you can cancel into like other attacks or dodges or things. So that's why I'm trying to always make sure I hit an enemy with it or trying to aim it. So here it doesn't really matter, I'm just trying to cut corners with it. Cut that corner, there we go. Right. This is one of the more fun things about level 1 here, is you have 3 of these. On the other difficulty that gets run, beginner mode, you only have 1 here because of how the deck works out. One of the perks of playing on critical mode, which doesn't really come up too often, because everyone forgets about it, you actually get more command deck slots at the beginning of the game on crit mode. So on beginner, you only have 4 slots here. On crit, you have 6, so you have way more options with what you can do with the deck. And because we don't need the command deck for much, we can use it to improve our movement instead. Right, so this is goons. These guys will run in from either side of the screen. Essentially, I'm just waiting for them to spawn in so I can... Oh, okay. I'm just going to heal. Right, there we go. Right, so. Oh, that's useful. Okay, make sure I collect the HP. Right, so I'm going to be using Sonic Blade throughout this. The reason why we need to do this is because we actually need some command points for some of our abilities. We could technically go into Snow White and use Bashful to get through this, which is Warp, which just despawns these enemies. But the problem with that is when you use a command like Warp, it doesn't actually give you any command points. So we have to do this. This is actually kind of a generally risky strat because when you're using Sonic Blade, you probably you might have seen that I did get hit during it. You have no iframes when you're executing this attack, so you can just get completely destroyed when you're doing it. So you do have to be careful sometimes, which is why I stepped away and grabbed some HP orbs and made sure I could cure. But yeah, cool. Now we're going to side dash through here a little bit more. I do need to remember to pick up the fleeting crystal that is in this room. Not this room, but the next room, essentially. But yeah, so these are the portals. Yeah, you just go through each portal. There's only one of them that has, like, a puzzle in quotation marks to it. Where we have to wait for it to change color back to a particular color. But here, I'm going to go here. I'm going to grab this chest here. This is a Tornado Strike. Avoid all the arrows. Tornado Strike, we don't use it for attacking. It just sells for a lot of money, so we're going to be doing that. That goon in the bottom left was what I like to call shuffling. I don't know why they do that. They just start moonwalking sometimes. But yeah, so this purple and like creamish color portal, we need to wait for it to be cream, and then we can go through. If you take the other one, the purple one, it takes you to an area that doesn't have another portal, so you need to go here to get to the red one, and then you get to the end of the puzzle. Yeah, big puzzle. But yeah, so there's 3 cutscenes you've got to skip here, then a menu I've got to do. Alright. No commands. Oh, not shimmering. There we go. Payback raid. Oh. Sleep. 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 I'm actually... There we go. That was the hardest menu for, the hardest menu for no reason. Right, so I put a balloon letter on there. So I did use my D-Link for the Goons fight, and I need it again for this fight here. For this fight against Maleficent. So balloon letters just refill your D-Link. There's an animation where you throw a letter up in the air. And then we're going to go in there. We're actually going to tank a hit here. Because when you're in red HP in Snow White, the command gauge bar, which is the bar above my attacks, fills up by itself. And essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to iframe through these attacks while also doing damage to Maleficent. EXP 0 does actually help in this fight because it makes it so that your all the finishes do a lot of damage. Okay, where's she going? Right, so this fight is entirely like pattern based essentially. So I'm basically just waiting for her to do particular things and punishing her when she does it. When she does this attack, I'm just going to stand underneath her and cast Sneezy to do a bit of damage to her. Hopefully she goes and does... yep, she's going to go up there. Cool. Right, there we go. Right. Hopefully she does... oh, that's actually more than fine. Cool, easy. Right, cool. That was a pretty decent Maleficent fight. That fight can go horribly wrong very fast. Luckily, she didn't do the attack, but essentially she can summon more goons to come and body you, and it's very annoying because she'll summon an archer goon, and they'll like stand on the other side of the planet and just snipe you because you have to obviously stay in red HP the whole fight. So you're like one hit from death the entire time. Very glad that went as well as it did. Alright, cool. So, now we're going to go up to the, what at this point is known as the Badlands, but it later becomes the Keyblade Graveyard, but yeah. So we're going to hop up here because, during the cutscenes that I just skipped, Ventus gets taunted by this guy called Vanitas, and we chase him here, essentially. Right, so, this is Vanitas 1, so this is the first phase of this guy. You can end this fight in one of 2 ways. You can either do enough damage to him, or you can just eat hits to the face and go to phase 2. When phase 2 starts, you get Mickey with you, and Mickey's damage is 100% consistent, and he does a lot of damage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and use Sleep on Vanitas to put him to sleep, and then rely on Mickey to do a lot of damage while I'm just tagging in hits on the side. All right. It messes up a little bit, but I was playing a little bit safe. But yeah, now that I've got him in this loop, yeah, so this guy just gets caught by this, and now he's in the gone zone. Mickey's just going to body him for us. This guy actually, the way this guy works is whenever you attack him with a regular attack that isn't like this status, he can just dodge it and then go do whatever he wants whenever he feels like it. But once he's caught in the sleep, you can kind of just like body him like this. This is a little bit slow because normally you want to go into Fever Pitch and then rely on Fever Pitch, but I was playing a little bit safe by just trying to make sure that the sleeps work. I'm going to do one more sleep just for safety. Right, cool. There was Vanitas 1. So the gimmick is he's affected by more and more status effects here, and then when you fight him later in the game, he's affected by less and less. So you have to then change up your strategies for them beating him. So the two characters that fight him at like the early points of the game, Aqua, when she fights her version, just puts him in a magnet, and he's affected by magnet there, but we don't have magnet as a command just yet. But Aqua does when she fights her version of it. So yeah, you can just get him caught in a magnet, and then he just can't do anything to you. Right, so that was Enchanted Step. I'll explain a little bit more later because it comes up again in a little bit when we go to Disney Town. But yeah, so from here we're just going to go around and collect some cutscenes. We go up and see these boys at the gate. I'm going to quickly go grab a crystal because I didn't get a drop. So during the grinding in Castle of Dreams, I threw a grumpy shot at a scrapper, the green enemies. They can drop what's called a Wellspring Crystal. You need a Wellspring Crystal for the ability once more. Since we're on level 1, we get one-shot by a lot of stuff, basically from this point onwards. But we can make the abilities once more in second chance to basically increase our survivability, which helps immensely for playing on critical mode at level 1. Even on regular critical mode, you want to grab it because you take a lot of damage even on regular crit mode when you're leveling up. Right, give me a second, I just want to make sure I get this right. Sell Tornado Strike, sell the binds, sleeps. Sell payback raid. So the reason why I picked up the payback raid is so I could sell it after I made my one that I'm going to use for us to run. Because you can't sell your action commands, the red commands, if you don't have a duplicate of them, essentially. Right, so I'm just buying a bunch of commands. I'm basically setting up my deck for the rest of the run, essentially here. Here you go. Put on high jump as well. All right, cool. Alright, so I've got to actually kill some enemies in this room because I need to level up my Magnets and Thunders here. So I'm going to do that. And something else I'm going to do is I'm going to do a hit first. On the 60 FPS versions of this game, so the PS4, PC onward versions. Wow, thanks game. Sometimes when you kill enemies when they're in a magnet, you don't get as much command points out of them. So just to try and help alleviate that problem, if you do an attack first, that little bit of damage that you do to them from the attack, when you hit them, just make sure that you get the most amount of command points that you can. Right, there's Counter Rush. I need that for later in the game. That was not the right D-Link at all. I was meant to go into Mickey, not Cinderella. That's fine. We'll just go down here. Can't do the cool movement, shaking my head. Right. Over here, there's one more group of enemies, and I'm going to do another menu. Where I basically make a ton of different commands with magic case on them. Here we go, there's that one, I'm gonna grab that, right, cool. Right. Another command I grabbed as well is Fire Dash. So, it's a very funny story behind that. So for the longest time, we didn't use the command style Firestorm on the boss I'm coming up on, Trinity Armor. And essentially, the reason for it was, we're always like, oh, but buying a fire is like way too expensive. What the hell are we doing? And then my friend Pestilus came along and was like, well, we need a slide dash for movement, right? Well, yeah, well, why don't we just buy a fire dash? And then we were like, oh, that solves every problem that we ever had with using that strat, is buying the fire version of slide dash. So yeah, the fire dash is really only used for a little bit of movement because after this world, it basically gets invalidated by the movement ability we pick up. But essentially, we're going to use it for getting through this corridor a little bit and fighting the next boss. The next boss is, as I said, is Trinity Armor. It's basically a 3-part body boss. It's got 3 different body pieces that have its own HP bar. And we've got Aqua and Terra with us, who can actually do quite a lot of damage to this guy, because their damage doesn't scale essentially to crit or beginner, etc., etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly in with a fire dash at the start and then try and get my firestorm finisher as fast as I can, but also trying to be careful because this guy can easily just like one-shot you. Right, we're going to dodge backwards here. Thunder, thunder. There we go. Right, cool. As you can see, it does a lot of damage, so it's very much useful doing that. Right, I'm going to be careful here. So that giant laser there is a one-shot if you're not careful, so... Right, cool. Now, this guy does this invincible attack where he spins around and shoots lasers. He's invincible during that entire attack, so you just want to leave him alone. And I'm going to stand in the middle here. He has a little safe spot here, and I'm going to sit under him, spam commands to get my firestorm finisher built up again. Right, cool. And hopefully Aqua and Terra will do a bunch of stuff to him while I'm like waiting for him to stop. Then when he stops, he'll fire this laser, and then we kill him with the finisher. Right, so that was Trinity Armor. That was actually a really good fight. Something else that you're avoiding during that entire fight, which didn't come up, if you stand too close to the body pieces during certain attack animations, the body pieces can like shoot invisible lasers and like hit you, and they one-shot you at this point in the game. Something else is this game has issues with lingering hitboxes in some instances. So the big laser that was getting shot, sometimes where it ends, there's like an invisible hitbox there that one-shots you, and where the body pieces die, they can leave a hitbox there as well sometimes. And something else I was avoiding as well is when I killed the arms, making sure that I wasn't too close to the head before it did the laser spin. Because if you're too close to the head when it does the laser spin, you have no chance to escape essentially, and you just get absolutely bodied. Right. Alright. So, got another force fight here. So, a lot of characters have a force fight here. Aqua has a boss fight here, but Terra has a fight here at the start of Radiant Garden, then gets his at the end. Oh, lovely. One of the floods went underground. This is the classic of a flood. They could go underground and just body you completely. I'm going to just do that. Go over here. Something else with this as well. These enemies don't spawn in, like, you know, any useful kind of location. Don't do that to me. We'll go over here. Gather, gather. Gather. Cool. God, that's so annoying. Right. Okay. I messed up all my magnet positions there. Oh my god. Right. Even when you have broken commands. Right, there we go. Right, yeah, there we go. Cool. Right, so at the end of this world, I've just got a little bit of movement I've got to do, and then we get to move on. So if you've got anything you want to say on the hosting side, please feel free.
Yeah, hello. I just want to remind everyone that we are here at ESA Summer collecting money for Alzheimerfonden, who are doing great work in supporting research on Alzheimer's disease. So while you're watching these great speedruns going on, please make sure to go to the ESA Marathon website and check out the donation page. And yeah, consider putting in a donation there. And when you do, also check the rewards and targets we have available there. Thank you. And yeah, back to you, Rebel.
All right, cool. Right, so at the end as well, now we have to go. Now we unlock basically the second set of worlds in this. I'm gonna go to Disneytown first. In one of the categories we go there way later, but then we go there now because we are gonna basically do a little bit of a sequence break to grab a end game command now for movement purposes. So hopefully I can get that right. Let's skip that. And instead of going forward to start the minigame, because we have to play a minigame here, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to do that. Right, cool. There we go. Right, so I should explain Enchanted Step a little bit more. Basically, Enchanted Step gets really... It's like a move... It's meant to be like Barrier Surge. But for some reason, Enchanted Step in Cinderella just has a weird, like... Okay, that's fine. Just has, like, weird effects when you when you attack enemies and miss them or use them against walls. Which is what we did there. We used it against a wall to and an enemy to basically fly up to grab Super Glide early. And essentially, Super Glide is this command here, which you're not meant to have until the very end of the game, essentially. So the way you're meant to get that is you're meant to go through an entire underground area of Disney Town, and then like use regular glide to fly across to get the get Super Glide, or you can use 2 slide dashes to do it as well. But yeah, now we've got to play It's a Small World real quick. Right. Cool. Right, yeah, so I'm just pressing X when I guess the ring is in the right place. This version of the song, the beginner version, this doesn't apply to the master version. The beginner version, sometimes on this version of the game, feels like a little bit off with the beat and like the circle, which is very annoying when you're trying to actually, you know, get good points. So you only need 1,050 points to pass this minigame, so I'm just gonna let everything go poor for a second and take a drink. This is the break you get in this run, essentially, is that tiny bit of this minigame. Alright, cool. So that is ice cream beer. Another reason why you want to stop is because when the camera pans out at the end to show you how tall the ice cream thing is, if it's really tall because you've been hitting all the excellence, it just takes an extra second or two to pan out. So you don't want to do that. And also the voice line the duck says when you get fantastic is longer than hey not bad. He goes whack-a-rooney. Right, so we're going to go to Olympus Coliseum now. We get flung straight into a force fight. We have Zack and Hercules with us. They're not very helpful in the slightest. They're actually definitely more of a detriment than anything else to you. I'm going to quickly do that, then do that. Right, cool. So I'm going to basically run around this fight using Super Glide into Magnet Thunders, because Magnet Thunder is amazing. On the PS3 version of this game, or any version of this game that runs at 30 FPS, Magnet Thunder actually was nowhere near as powerful as this. You had to use 2 thunders per wave, essentially, to try and to kill everything. Oh. Of course. Yeah, so those enemies there, if they decide to do that glowing attack, they just kill you, so that was amazing. That's why I was trying to keep a magnet above my head, but it really didn't work. Right, that was upsetting, but that's fine, don't worry about it. Let's just do this again and try not to get bodied. Over here. Right. Herc is behind me with a barrel right now. He said, let's get things rolling. Right. Enemy here. Try and do this more correct this time. Last time I did a run of Ventus crit at an ESA, I died in this exact same fight, so I'm glad to see I'm still continuing the trend of being actual Garbo at this fight. As you can see, they go yellow there. The whole reason why you want to keep a magnet above your head is so if they do that, you can do that instead. Right, there we go. And then one enemy always spawns at the end, and you just have to kill it. Basically, due to like PSP loading times, it couldn't load that particular enemy in with the rest of them, and they just never fixed it in subsequent versions of the game. But yeah, right. So it's funny, right? So I grabbed Super Glide and stuff. You would think Super Glide would save like a lot more time, but it's only like 10 or so seconds. It used to only be 4. Basically, the menu route we do now makes it save more time because we didn't put it on until the end of OC. But because we have it for some parts of Olympus Coliseum, it does save a little bit more time now. Right. So this first earns minigame, we just have to score 15 points and then we can just do nothing for the rest of it. So I like to super glide into corners or get stuck, essentially. Or, you know, vibrate massively while I'm waiting for the timer to run down. Hercules over here is just going to do whatever he wants to do. During the second earns minigame, which we get to after this, we do actually have to win against Hercules. Luckily, on critical mode, we don't have to stop and grind EXP with EXP Walker, but so on the beginner mode difficulty of this, you actually have to, like, stop in the middle of this, like, minigame, essentially, by getting enough points and hoping to God Herc doesn't, like, catch up and try and win, to grind EXP using an ability. I'm just waiting for barrels. Okay, cool. Herc's gonna grab that barrel, because of course he is. Hit the explosions, there we go. Hit the barrels. Right. So, Herc is very funny. So, Herc will either be actually cracked at this game, or he'll just run around hitting the singles at a time. I've seen Herc get like 180 points before. Yeah, that was a fun experience, and I was like crying internally. Because you're like struggling if he's doing that. Because the way Herc can build up points is if he gets to the barrels before you do, or the explosion ones, he can just completely just body you. Right. Waiting for more barrels. He's gonna grab that one probably. Oh no. So the general joke of this is you're trying to get to 200 points, otherwise you're a weenie. So that's what I'm doing. Hopefully I've got enough time to do that, because I've not been playing this that well, to be honest with you. Alright, cool. Boom. There we go. Alright, we should be fine. I'm not a weenie. There we go. Easy money. Right, so the end of, I've got like 30 seconds till the end of this minigame, so if you've got anything you want to talk about on the hosting side, go ahead.
Absolutely. So I just wanted to highlight the current targets that we have open. So we have, for the Star Wars Battlefront 2 run coming up later, there is a Heroes versus Villains showcase. And to unlock that, we will need $250. Currently sitting at 10, but we still have a few hours to go on that one. So I definitely believe in you. We also have for the Paris-Marseille Racing, there's a target there to, I think, swap out the, it says cursed controller here, so I think it's swapping out the controller for something terrible, so that would be really interesting to see. Also, a $250 target. So when you do make your donations, please check out those targets and put the donations to one of them.
All right, cool. Right, so I brought another block and an Asuna there. That's to make Renewal Guard at the end of the game, essentially, just to help me with survivability. Right, so this is Ven's Jellyshade Swarm. I very comically died here when I was doing practice for this run. Literally the start of the fight, I just immediately got bodied. But yeah, so essentially what I'm doing is I'm going to walk around, use Magnet. These guys don't spawn in all at once. They like, when one dies, another one spawns in essentially. And they all have like 1 hit point each. If you notice, I wasn't dodge rolling through that entire fight because Hercules shouts at you, "Ven!" And that makes you start his reaction command where he spins you around and then throws you. Alright, so that was OC. Right, now we're going to go to Deep Space, which is over here. Right, on the way into Deep Space, I've got to do a quick fight against Metamorphosis. This is what we call Meta 1, or Metamorphosis 1. He does have a giant HP bar, but don't worry, we don't have to get rid of the whole HP bar. This guy is a bit of a ball ache sometimes, because the controls here are not amazing. And he, like, two-shots you like most things do. So I'm trying not to get bodied. Okay. Okay, can I like actually hit him, please? That'd be amazing. There you go. Okay, that was a very slow fight, but he didn't kill me, so that's fine. All right. So yeah, you've only got to do a little bit of damage to that guy. I think I have to pick up this pulsing chest. Yeah, I'll do it anyway for safety. I need a pulsing crystal for the end of the game. Luckily, there's literally one right there for Ven. The other two characters, the pulsing chests, are in really slow locations. I fell for the cutscene again, because of course I did. That's an unskippable cutscene. Ven's the only character with him, and it's in this section here. Right, so this is the Deep Space Force fight. I'm going to get to the middle here. Cool, everyone got caught. Then I'm just going to Magnet Thunder through everything. Trying to position my magnets in correct places to catch enemies. So then I can just kill everything in one wave. There we go. Oh, great. As soon as I pick up a pulsing crystal, the game's like, yo, here's one in a drop. Every single time. Right, so this wave here, you can't actually pick up all these enemies in one, so you need to like sandbag a little bit and then do that. Oh, he went underground anyway, so my entire plan faltered. Do that. That guy's going to come over here and get caught. Do that. Oh, and another pulsing crystal. Let's go. I definitely didn't need to pick one up. Alright, so that's into that force fight. Yeah, you just Magna Thunder through it. On beginner mode, you get to do a really cool strat with Wingblade, but Wingblade's actually kind of bad on level 1. It doesn't do that much damage, so we don't even think about using it. Right, so this is what I like to call the anti-grav room. We need to get to the top of this room, essentially. So we're going to jump up this room. So we activate the anti-grav, then we're going to jump up. I'm going to hover over Mickey. Okay, that did not jump high enough there. I'm going to use Mickey to land fast from there. And dodge over there. So the reason why you can use Mickey here is because something I didn't mention. The reason why we're not just going into Snow White and bash-filling everything like we can do. Okay, thank you. I didn't mean to press that. But yeah, when you have a party member, you can't use D-Links. So we had to, so obviously you have to find other ways through things, and obviously Magna Thunder does end up being the more optimal choice. Right, so this is Metamorphosis 2. Stitch is here and he can help you out. He's already not helping me out, thank you, Stitch. But essentially what we're going to do is we're going to use Ignite on this thing, and we're going to basically hide from it. So when this guy can't see you, essentially he acts really passive. So essentially we're just going to abuse that to make sure he can't attack us. Because if he sees you, he'll do an attack. And his attacks are really powerful, and because we don't have the survivability abilities like once more second chance, this guy one-shots you here. You have to be very careful. So I'm just being extra careful here so I don't get bodied. Stitch can shoot him a bunch of times. He's not really doing it too much, but that's fine. And essentially now I'm going to go over here and wait for him to come at me. There we go, easy. Alright, cool. That was meta too. I wish there was a better way to deal with that fight, but because we have Stitch with us, we can't like use like Snow White or anything like that for more damage or anything. And Ven doesn't have any command styles like that you can truly do much with at this point to do damage to Metamorphosis. So yeah, Ignite is the way to go. Right, so yeah, that's the end of Deep Space. And now we get to go to Neverland. So this is Ven's final world before we get to final fights. We're going to do a quick menu in this world to basically set ourselves up for the end of the game. From this point onwards, our command deck isn't really that much used, which is funny. So every single other character at this point would have like a full command deck full of all their most optimal things that they need for the rest of the game. Yeah, because we don't really use the command deck in endgame for Ventus, you just leave half of it empty, which is very amusing. All right, I'm going to go over here. Reason why I'm killing these enemies is because I need some more command points for... Okay, I didn't get what I needed there, but that's fine. Oh, wait, no, they probably got level ups because I died on the OC fight. Right, okay, one more quick menu. Sooner... Okay, fire screen, that's not needed, but whatever. Pulsing... And Wellspring. I've got 3. Okay, so that one. There we go. Right, cool. Now I'll set up the end of the game now. Alright, so we've got one more force fight we've got to do. We're actually going to use Snow White for the majority of this one. So this fight is full of mandrakes and wild bruisers, essentially. So the first wave is just a bunch of floods, which is easy to deal with. We're just going to Magna into Thunder on these guys. Magna Thunder. We're going to Snow White. Then we're going to use Bashful. Bashful is Warp. Warp just takes the enemies and despawns them. Gives you drops on things, but doesn't like give you any EXP or CP essentially. So we're just going to use this to despawn all the enemies and finish this fight fast. Alright, cool. And this last... Okay, don't do that to me, please. Wait for this guy to die, and that should be it. There we go. If you get lucky, Bashful gets rid of all three of those monkeys for you, but if there's one left, it's a little bit better just to revert and use Ignite on him and let him die. Because you could sit there using Bashful for ages, because it's not like a 100% chance to despawn the enemies. It's just a chance to. Right. Super glide through here. Right, we're actually heading to the boss fight of this world. We're going to go Hook. What's funny is you get level 1 glide there. I've already got Super Glide, so I've already done the tutorial for glide. As I said, it's kind of a sequence break. You're not meant to have Super Glide by this point. Up here. Around here. Something when you're moving through this area, a Hook ship is like actually firing in some of the versions of Neverland, which is very funny. So you can just get one shot by a cannonball. Right, so this is Hook. Hook, a bunch of people actually put in to get this strat to work, but essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to swing at the start, he's going to dodge, and then he's going to tear at the edge, going to hit into Ignite, he gets flung off, gets bit by the crocodile, going to Ignite again, going to Mickey. And yeah, now we get to what XP0 does, which completely bodies this man. Hopefully this kills him. Easy, right, cool. Yeah, so that's what XP0 does. When you're on level 1, essentially, in the original version of this game on the PSP, it just scaled your damage down to what it would, to the minimum. So you would do 1 hit point of damage to every enemy, essentially, that was like a higher battle level than you were, which is like everything. When they ported this game to the PlayStation 3, they quote made it less boring. Essentially what they did is they gave each enemy a particular value of damage that they take from your attacks in EXP0, but they made finishers do like more damage, which is fine in concept, but then when you have a finisher that deals a load of hits and it deals that increased finisher damage over and over and over again, yeah, that just bodies whatever you use the finisher on. The reason why Aqua is the fastest critical mode character for this game is because her first command style she gets, her like baby one that you get from Orbs, Spellweaver, does like 50 to 60 hits like by itself. So it just completely bodies everything. So you can just rely on that for the whole game, and it's easy to get into because you just use general spells to do it. Right, cool. So I'm going to hover over the balloon letter. So a mechanic of this game that doesn't really come up too often is when you enter fights with your command deck hovered over a certain command, as long as you don't move the command deck or use that command, it remains there until you do anything with it. So essentially, I'm not going to use my my own command deck for the next fight. I'm going to use a D-Link for it, so I can hover over the balloon letter to prepare for the fight after the fight I'm going into. Right, so we're going to move through here. We're going to go behind the Moogle shop because it saves like literally 0.1. Let's go. Gonna go to the end. Right, so this is coming into Ventus's final fights, essentially. So we've got 2 of them we've got to do. We've got a bunch of cutscenes we've got to skip past, though. There we go. Hallow Break. Right, so this is Vanitas 2. As I said, Vanitas now resists like basically every single status effect in the game. So first thing he's going to do is he's going to jump on what we have lovingly called the Keyblade bike. It's just a storm of Keyblades, essentially. So we're going to Flame Salvo through it to knock him off of it. We're going to go to Peter Pan, which is the command style, not the command style, the D-Link we just got from Neverland by beating Hook. And we're going to use Guard into counter rush to build up our thing. I'm basically going to wait for him to do a particular attack, and then we're going to kill him. Yeah, this man just dies now. Yeah, another instance of EXP0. But yeah, so that's how we deal with that guy. We're going to use the same command style on the next boss, which is why we need to hover over the balloon letter. As I said earlier, when I used the balloon letter in Maleficent, the balloon letter heals your D-Link. Also, as this is the final fight, be ready on time. Hopefully I don't die, is all I'm going to say. So I'm going to use balloon letter, tank a hit, go into D-Link. And I died immediately, of course I did. Right. Let's try this again, shall we? Right, when you die here, you don't need to use the balloon letter, but if you do anything other than wait, he'll do a different attack than what he did, so that's what. So I'm going to wait for him to do the attack that he did last time. Cool. Easy. Right, so something that is funny with this guy is he gets sunlocked by single hits. So don't mind me, I'm like low on HP. Take a hit there. And now he's dead. Oh, yeah, so this attack just goes on forever on this version as well. Sword build didn't do as much. It did a lot of damage on PS3, but not as much as it does on 60 FPS. Sorry, give me a second. Alright, cool. Right, so this is the epic Dragon Ball Z moment we get at the end of Ventus' story. I'm waiting for him to do an attack where he dashes at me, or a shot lock. He's going to shot lock now, which is fine. And we're going to do big laser beams. There are many different things you can do in this to build up the command gauge, which is what we're doing. But shot locking him is definitely the best way to do it. Is he going to do it? Okay, no. Jesus, this boy is taking forever. Right. Okay, one more. Cool, easy money. Right, after this, I'm going to use one more command, and then that is the end of the run. So, we'll be already on time. And time. Alright, so that was Birth by Sleep Ventus Critical. Hopefully you enjoyed. Shoutouts to the Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep speedrunning community. Shoutouts to my good friend Pessilist and how much he likes to body this category with every change he's ever made to it. But yeah, if you want to run any of the Kingdom Hearts games, you can join the Discord, go on speedrun.com, there's notes on like all of them, and if there's not the right notes on the leaderboards or whatever, you can come in the Discord and ask, and someone somewhere will have something for you to help you with learning. But yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed the run. That's it for me. Enjoy whatever's coming up next on ESA.